Out of Body first begins as this intimate and grounded story.
It's the first date, and so everything's fresh and new.
You know, things are getting hot between these two.
All taking place in this secluded parking lot.
It gets a little creepy.
This film spirals into this claustrophobic horror that puts you right into the main character's shoes. So after working in the film industry for a few years, I've experienced some invasive relationships.
There are moments where I feel like I have been in Lily's situation.
I'm not trying to mess with you here, but there is no one out there. I promise.
With this film, I really wanted to make a thought-provoking horror that would speak on consent.
People don't really ask for consent in a lot of situations because they just presume they can either get away with something or they feel like they're privileged or owed.
You don't want to be the not cool girl, so you say, oh, it's okay, it's fine. Letting those types of actions slide are kind of how someone might think, oh, it's okay to do this, so it's always okay to do this. And that's why consent is so important and why it needs to be talked about more.
It's really about just giving voice to everyone involved.
And that's what I love about Out of Body. It's like it's a really safe way to explore, to heal, to understand.
While this is a serious topic and definitely needs to have the conversation that it deserves,
we also want to make something fun that will scare the shit out of you. The film's monster is called the Lurker, brought to life by my good friend, Alexya Garcia.
She was cast, I think, even before I was brought in on the project. I think Joseph just knew he wanted her to do that part.
Very enticing. It's very horrific in a different way.
We wanted something more ethereal, something more floaty.
There's a whole spectrum of sexiness, you know, how to do just a little bit to just be enticing.
Kind of toe the line between fear and excitement.
It was wild and beautiful, but in a terrifying way, it was beautiful.
The way she just like moves in the van, it like gives shivers.
And then the ooze really played a part too. It made me literally slip and contort. And I would kind of keep moving through it and like it would be cool, but it was so much fun.
I would like to.
Yeah, so the cast, obviously amazing. But I actually remember where I was when I watched Lestonja's self-tape.
What is your problem?
There's someone here, I know it sounds crazy. Something about her on screen is so captivating and it's hard to look away.
She was the ultimate, like, dance partner.
Lily, as the character, had a certain type of confidence that I, at the time, wished that I had had.
Lily just, in the beginning, is comfortable telling her new date what she wants to do. Like, power to you, girl.
Normally in horror, the lead character is usually suppressed, and if they don't have control, then it's normally a film about them being stuck in not having control and essentially not finding that.
Lily's character is just unique in that she is herself, she is strong, she is comfortable with her sexuality and what she wants out of that. I think things like that should be normalized, which is why we need those strong female characters, so that when women do it in real life, it's not such a shock to people.
Well, I can drive that loader. I have a class 2 rating.
She had a voice. And it's really cool to play someone that finds a voice and has control of something.
I really liked Curtis's tape.
As long as it's not your dad. Kidding. I
was so grateful that he was just good at his job, basically.
I could see his range, warm and inviting and make you feel comfortable and secure, because that's the turnaround.
What's the problem?
There's someone here. I know that it sounds crazy, but it's like trying to take my body.
Okay, you know what's crazy is that
we were aligned in a certain way. I think it's probably because we did the right work outside of filming and prepared enough that whenever we got together, we were sort of connected in that way with like synchronicities. And it's like if he threw something out there, I would be able to like catch it with my mitt in a certain way. That was like, oh, like it's a pop fly, or like you're gonna go like out there. Okay, got you. Like, yeah.
Thanks.
It was like theater. Like, and we were all so close, and
Very sweaty at times and just ratchet.
it was so personal. And if there's a mess up, like, you know, you're gonna feel it. Like, everyone's gonna feel it.
All the textures in the van just made it like really easy.
Y'all did such a great job with creating such a realistic atmosphere and environment. There was actually very little acting required.
But wait, hold up.
Hold up.
I know what you're thinking. This short's about a woman's body, directed by a man, written by a man, and the DP's also a man.
That's what I'm saying.
And you know what? You're absolutely right. We're well aware of all that Hollywood stuff, and we're trying to do better.
Man, what?
So that's why we asked intimacy coordinator Chelsea Morgan to expertly lead and design the sensual scenes.
So my job is to, first and foremost, make sure that the actors and everybody on set is comfortable with the intimacy in the script. I also choreograph the sex scenes and just like coordinate sort of how bodies are moving in space and make sure that it all serves the story.
I see that craft in a whole new eye, and I respect it so much.
My experience was definitely second to none. Not only was Chelsea instrumental in terms of like our chemistry, ultimately we just felt so at ease and just so taken care of. You know what I mean? Like, it was just one less thing we had to worry about when we were performing. That's an experience that I'll never forget, most definitely. And that's at a crazy high bar. You know what I mean?
We're relatively new roles, so it's something that's becoming a lot more standard in Hollywood, thank God. But
Right.
yeah.
And I was also fortunate to have my genius friend, Caitlin Hudson, to help me ground the performances and take them beyond my original vision.
This reality is different from the reality that I expected, and I don't.
Looking back, the shoot was riddled with challenges. Even at one point, I thought our set was actually cursed, because when we were setting up the first shot, all of a sudden, the van just died on us. So we had to 86 the driving shot. Our gaffer RJ got injured.
We had a oopsie.
But luckily,
The speed on that. Dedicated. I love it.
our collective belief in the film's message, along with the constant support we had for each other, kept us going throughout all those rough nights.
Not to mention Johnny's home-cooked ramen.
All right, who's first?
And boba? You know, Terrell's happy.
And to be honest, none of this would have been possible if it weren't for you guys who backed this project last year on Seed and Spark. All your hard-earned money, all those funds helped sustain us throughout the whole project. And yeah, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. Thank you for having your faith in us.
Is a rap. Bow.
It's not a pad, it's a toe warmer.
Let's have Aimee do it.
What? What am I doing? What am I saying?
So it's like, this segment is like...
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, this...
That's a wrap.